Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Onyx Nicole Experience. I am your girl, Onyx Nicole. And today I'm going to be touching on topics that I've gotten on my Facebook topic discussion post that I've asked people if they had any topics that they want me to discuss. So today I'm going to be touching on some very important topics. Some I didn't know too much about, but I had to do my research. So today the first question I'm going to talk about is from Yellow Man. I think that's how you say his name. Um he said I should speak on bringing back bringing cultures together again, specifically Italians and blacks. So I didn't know too much about Italian culture, so I did my research. Um like he said in his post, they used to call Italians dagos. I believe that's how you say it, dagos, which was a slur to them, like niggers or Negro was to us. So he said that we have a lot of similarities. Um, and I did my research and I found out that we actually do. Not as it's a bad thing, but I didn't know. Like I just was clueless to what they have gone through. So in doing my research, I found out like he said, uh Italians were lynched like us. Um they weren't allowed to pick cotton because they were considered slightly worse than black slaves. Um they also, like us, we have Juneteenth. They have I believe it's called pronounced the Padroni Act of 1874, and it celebrates Italian freedom. So we have a lot of similarities. We've been through kind of the same struggles. Um, Culturally, we have like we're very similar as well. Like it's usually it's family first. Food is culture, like soul food or whatever. So we have soul food. They also are big around bonding with food. Um, Another thing he put here that I found very interesting is that the president said that President Ted Roosevelt said Italians being lynched is a great thing. Um, so he said that we should bring cultures back together because we have a lot of similarities, like the flashiness, like he's like they like soul food, we like their designer clothes and things like that. I did, when looking at my research, I found that, a lot of things have changed in the black culture that we should go back to as well. Respect for elders. There's zero to none. As as far as I can see, there has been none. Like me, I still hold true to that value, but a lot of people don't. So it's like I see a lot of killings and things, like it's just like respect seems to have gone out the window. There's like no respect for no one. That's the way I see it. Um, but we do need to bring back, togetherness, like in every culture, especially in the black culture, because I feel like my people don't stick together. Sorry, not sorry. We don't stick together. I feel like that. I feel like respect should be given. Um, I feel like people need to find different ways to deal with things. You know what I mean? So I feel like that was a great question. I think that was a great topic, more so not a question, a great topic to discuss. I feel like I would want to go live and have him on and discuss this more because I'm like not that familiar with Italian culture. but I am familiar with Black culture. Like the music, I know he mentioned something about music, and I feel like certain type of music kind of promotes the wrong idea to my people. It's like me when I listen to certain music, of course, it's kind of be, talk about drugs, violence, and I really shouldn't be listening to it, but I know like I can just listen to it and not react to it. But I feel a lot of Black men listen to music and they kind of emulate what these rappers or whomever is saying in the music. Um, Sex, money, murder. I mean, it's just like that's the three topics of hip hop music I've heard, and growing up, sex, money, murder. Those three things, maybe not in that order. I think we gotta get back to setting examples. Like, there's a lot of people, a lot of young men, YNs is what y'all call it. There's a lot of YNs out here that have no direction. So it's like if you're listening to music, some type of music, it's kind of steering them in the wrong direction. I think we need to get back to conscious rap or conscious music. Like, let's help these people. Like, I feel like we're steering them in the wrong direction, and it's like a lot of this violence is and all this frivolous fucking is coming from the rappers promoting this type of behavior like it's okay, but it really isn't, because now once this frivolous fucking goes on, then we have all these homes where fatherless homes, because they usually end up not staying. They act on their lusty behavior because they see the physical beauty of a woman and they can't control themselves, and then they end up having unwanted pregnancies and creating unnecessary situations where is as if the mom doesn't feel like abortion is the answer, which it isn't the answer. If she feels like abortion isn't a thing to consider, that she wants to consider, then because men feel like that's the answer to their behavior. Oh, if I slip up and get you pregnant, not like let me not do it, or let me not like use a condom or prevent this behavior. It's like if this behavior happens, then you can just get an abortion, and it's like that's not the answer. Abortion is not the answer. Like, let's try to control our lusty selves. Like, let's try to control our hormones so that we can prevent these things from happening, because a lot of mothers cannot really raise a son, because most of them end up how, what word I want to use, they end up venturing off and looking to trying to look to people who can relate, like corner boys or someone else that's usually they end up on the corner selling drugs and in prison. That I just want to prevent all that from happening. So I feel like we should really kind of the men and women, we need to be more responsible with our hormones, um because we don't want to keep having all these homes without a father, because as I'm studying, I'm learning that, and I've already know, I didn't need studying to tell me this, but like fathers not being in a home creates and then not just, I'm stumbling all over my words, but sorry. But what I'm trying to say is fathers not being in a home is not a good situation for the child, because he has no authority, is what I'm trying to say. He has no authority. So it's like once he get a certain age, he's not going to respect the mom. Like most, I'm not saying everybody, I'm saying seems like most don't respect the mom after a certain age, and they venture off and they go to the streets, especially if you're in an environment that he sees crime and, fast money and things like that, he's going to easily fall into that thing. And then you have his friends that share the same similar upbringing in his ear. He's going to assume that's the right thing to do, which goes into my second question, where I got from a guy who also sent me a question on via Facebook, my Facebook post. He's actually been in prison for 31 years, and he has a life sentence. So, what I got from his question is, or more so his statement, is that let's try to talk more positive, or be a positive role model to these people, to these inner city youth, so that they don't end up where he is. Because him looking up to a thug, or like a OG is what they probably would call it. Him looking up to an OG got him a life sentence. So he's trying to put a message out where he's like trying to prevent it from happening to as many people as he can, which I understand. So he says, let's he also says, like, let's, this is his direct question, let's vibe on how too many men in prison and out in the community get comfortable with a less than status. My opinion of that is that they're comfortable. It's easier not to, just to do the the bare minimum. Not the bare minimum. If they're surviving, if they're comfortable, if they're working or not, but if they're working for a company, that's the American way. That's the way we were programmed, is to work for someone, get the money, pay the bills, pay. It's like, it's just programming is why I feel like many men in the community is comfortable, because that's the way it's designed. And that's just what I feel like, why it's just not, it's not men either, it's everybody. We all programmed because we've seen, some of us who had a family unit, we always seen the dad or the mom working to provide. So it's like, it's a cycle. So we have to kind of reprogram ourselves from being the worker to owners. But a lot of us are comfortable just working with people because it's less stress. It's easier sometimes to go into a job, make the money, come home, and it's harder to build your own, but it's more beneficial to build your own. I mean, everyone should want to be their own boss, but not everyone has the drive to do it as well. So I feel like it's safe. It's a safe way to live. It's really comfortable. It provides you the bare necessities. So it's like, why wouldn't why wouldn't they? Why would it's like, why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't anyone? It's easy. For many, many years, I've been the same way. It's just easier to go to work, come home, you get your check at a certain time, you divvy out your bills, especially if you're making more than enough to provide, then it's like, why wouldn't I stay here? I would have, I lost my job maybe 6 years back. I was comfortable doing that. Like, it was just like more than enough to provide for me and my daughter at the time. And it's just like, I would have never left, free health insurance. Like, they offered the work. So it's like perks in doing that. Like, you get health insurance and things like that. Like, people that have their own will have to kind of provide their own health insurance, and who knows how much that would cost. Um, so it's like, I feel like it's just easier to work for a company where the bare necessities of life is kind of handed to you. It's like a swap. I give you health insurance and I give you money to pay your bills, but you come and you work and you help me build my brand or my company or whatever it is. So it's like one hand kind of washes the other, but I don't feel like too many people have that ownership mindset. So that's why I think that why too many people in the community are comfortable, because it's just like owning your own. I can say it's kind of stressful. Like if I was still at that previous company, I would have never been doing this, to be honest. But this is giving me time to think about like what I want to do with my life. Like I just don't want to sit around and just be safe and comfortable for the rest of my life. I want to, create awareness and help in any way I can. So that's why I'm in school learning, because at the end of the day, I want to be, I don't know if I ever told you guys, I want to be like a family therapist. I want to keep, families together, ultimately keep fathers in the home, because I know how important that is. I mean, through my studies and everything, I see the statistics and things like that, and I just, hear what goes on in my neighborhood or where I used to live in that area. So it's like, let's like promote peace. Like I said in my very first episode, like I want to promote peace and positivity. Like let's be aware of what we're saying. Like I know, but let's be aware of the things we say to people. Like I would like more comments on my page, more statements, more deeper things to talk about. Like I will be going live. Like maybe I'm gonna start going live maybe once a month, but I'm gonna put out the videos to the questions that I get. Um, I would say probably once a week. I'm gonna try once a week because, like I said, I'm in school and I also have two jobs, so I'm kind of busy. But I'm still gonna make time for this, because to me this is very important, because I just want to get everybody on the right track. I don't want people to end up in jail or in jail. I mean, not end up in jail, but like deceased, because it's like life is precious. Like you have to kind of value your life, and then you have to change the direction of where you're going if you're not on the right direction. So I'm gonna answer another important question that Mr. I didn't even say his name. His name is Isaac Quincy Brown, and he wants to talk about the real reason and ways to overcome the acceptance of domestic violence. I feel like, let me take a minute, because I've known people who stayed in relationships where domestic violence was present. So their reasoning was the guy, the husband provided stability. So it was hard to leave when the one party didn't have a job and the other one was the sole provider. So that was one reason why that person stayed in that relationship. The second the second reason is I believe that they're just like really scared. Like these people can, people have really died behind leaving someone. So it's like you can't, it's a process of getting out. It's not like you just can't leave. Because I was one of those people who would say, oh, why just not leave? But then, I watch a lot of crime stories and this and that. And it's like, it's not as easy as it seems, is what I'm trying to say. So I feel like women or men, domestic violence can go both ways. I feel like you have to kind of make an exit plan. But if you can catch it early, I feel like it's probably safer to leave when you first catch the signs of anger issues, or a nigga getting handsy, to be plain. You just have to cut your losses early and try to leave earlier instead of trying to listen to the "oh, I'm sorry's" and things like that. I think if they do it once, they'll do it again. So the best way is to kind of leave when you see the first signs of anger management. Like I understand love is involved, or you love the person, or they treat you a certain type of way, but a man that truly love you will not hit you or hurt you in any type of way. So if you see, try to get out. And I think people are like, I don't want to say they fall for the apology, but it's like sometimes these apologies seem so genuine. So it's like sometimes they're fooled by the tears and the apologies, and so I don't think it's accepted. I just think, sometimes they come off as genuinely sorry for doing it, but like after the first apology, if it's done again, then I mean, I would leave after the first, but if you love them and you feel like it was a mistake, or like something happened, or he snapped, or whatever the case of whatever of the reason that you accepted the first apology, if it happens again the second time, it's a wrap. It has to be a wrap. What is the saying? For the first time, shame on me. Second time, shame on you. Like, I know it's easier said than done. I know it's easier said than done to just leave someone who providing everything, and like you have nowhere to go, or like you just balls to the wall. It's like, I understand, I get it, but at some point it's like you have to kind of see, like, life is, sometimes most likely your life is in jeopardy. So at best they have numbers where you can call, and you can call the police if it gets too out of hand, and restraining orders, and go through the process of just separating yourself from that person. There's women's shelters there, there's a lot of places where you can call, or numbers you can call to get help for domestic abuse or domestic violence. So I don't know if he's saying like it's is well accepted. I mean, I don't know if that's what he's saying, but this is what I get from the topic of discussion he posed. Um so that's why I feel like it's a lot of time, the apologies sometimes you get fooled by the tears and the I'm sorry's and baby pleases and stuff. I get it. But if it's repetitive, then it wasn't sorry from the first. The first sorry he didn't mean, and this is his personality. This is the part of him or her. I'm going both. I'm not gonna say go both ways, but I'm seeing it from both sides, because I know some women can be abusive as well to their spouse. So I'm not just gonna look at it from the female's victim point of view. So I think I touched on those questions that he has. I know Mr. Isaac Quincy Brown has posted more questions. There was other questions by a that I'm gonna touch on because I'm behind on the questions. These questions came in week 1. Um so let me see if I can find one more of his questions that I can try to answer for you guys today. And I hope he will see, and maybe he can come on the live, or just respond to the to this video. Okay, here he goes. So I think his reason for reaching out to me is maybe he sees, I'm hoping that this platforms get much bigger, but he's like, how come so many people that have a platform with followers, but they don't hesitate to use it to save lives? This is my point. I want to use my platform to not just, save relationships. I talk about everything. This is like the everything channel. Like I'm not gonna just talk about just one thing or one topic or one subject. I'm talking about all the topics that matter. Like, yes, I want to save lives because I see all the killings and stuff that goes on. So I want my people to get it together. I want them to kind of think about what is going on and why they act the way they act. But I feel like another reason, I'm sorry, I'm going off topic, but another reason I feel that it's like a lot of, I don't want to say black on black crime or a crime period, murders. And it's like, I feel like a lot of men don't know how to channel their emotions. Like, I feel like it's better for them to act out in rage than to talk or cry or whatever solitude, like anything. It's a lot of different ways to deal with emotions. Talk. You can like elect a brother or a friend or like and just talk. Holding that stuff in creates a buildup of anger. So like once you hit the boiling point, you're gonna explode in rage, and that's not what it is. Like not even just in the outside world, in relationships too. I think that's why domestic violence happens as well. It's like men don't know how to communicate effectively. So it's like I feel like if they learned how to, therapy is a start. But a lot of people don't feel like they have a problem. But a lot of problems in adulthood stems from childhood. So you might not realize you have childhood trauma. But if you go and talk to someone, they can get it out and heal you. A lot of these men are walking around unhealed. Like, and then they're trying to get in these relationships where they're just toxic as shit. Um, and just hard to deal with. And it's like, you have to learn how to channel your emotions. Like, talk, go for a walk, like something. Like, de escalate the situation instead of escalating it. Go for a walk, calm down, and talk when both parties are calm. Yelling is never going to be the answer to solve any issue or any problem. So I feel like that's another thing. Like I feel like men don't want to go to therapy. They don't feel like they need help, but healing is important. If you want a healthy relationship, you got to heal. You got to go talk to a therapist, couples therapy. Go to therapy by yourself if you don't want to expose everything that might have happened during your childhood to your spouse. Eventually, it should be a couples counselor. A couples, you should seek couples therapy, because at the end of the day, if this is your partner for life, you will want her to know the ins and out of what you might have been through and how it's affecting you, so she can have some understanding, or he can have some understanding. If get into a relationship or a marriage, your partner's supposed to know you inside and out, so she can know your triggers, what to say, what not to say, can look at you and tell what kind of mood you might be in. Like that's the point of having a partner for life. So sorry, I feel like those are the top reasons, the top discussion questions that I wanted to get to that I just kept putting to the side. And this is more so like the meat and potatoes of my channel. Like I'm going to talk about everything else, sex, love, whatever. But I do want to put positive messages out there to the OGs and to whomever. You see some, don't put the wrong message in these young boys' ears, because they just running out here, they're wilding. So I feel like let's just say we got to save them. Like let's stop making these babies and leaving. Like, you know what I mean? Fathers in the home. Like I'm promoting fathers in the home, because that's important. I had my dad around. I didn't always realize how important it was until I got older and started dating. So it's like, it's very important. So on that note, I'm gonna I'm gonna end it, and then I'll put out another episode, and I'll discuss more questions that I get online, or just something that I have on my mind in general. So I feel like subscribe to the channel, like, share, subscribe to the channel, the Onyx Nicole Experience. I'm trying to let this go global. So if you see this, let's share it, like it, comment on the post, comment on the video, comment on the episode, or whatever you want to call it. So with that being said, I will see you in the next episode. Thank y'all for listening. Bye.